Okay, so after I did my top 10 most haunted places and creepiest places in the world, I decided to do the top 5 most haunted places in Michigan. Now, this video will probably be very quick and very short, and since I live in Michigan, I decided, fuck it, I might as well do a video about it. So, this is what I came up with as the most top 5 haunted places in Michigan, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so now since I did the top 10 most haunted places in the world, I'm going to do the top 5 most haunted places in Michigan. Now, why I chose Michigan is because I live in Michigan, so I thought, fuck it, I might as well do something about that too. So, starting with number 5. Number 5, the Old City Orphanage in Marquette. This Catholic orphanage, formerly known as the Holy Cross Orphanage, was built in 1915 and abandoned in the 60s. The French nuns in care of the orphans were known to be incredibly cruel, violent, both emotionally and physically abusive to the children. There are many sad and scary stories that have come from this place, but the greatest legend surrounds a young child that wandered out into the blizzard one night to play in the snow. It says that the nuns were so furious with her that she died from ammonia. They displayed her body in the lobby of the orphanage for the other children to learn a lesson from. Many people who live near the orphanage have reported seeing glowing moving lights from floor to floor to window. When no one else was inside, the other visitors say they could hear the sounds of crying children where they pass late at night. So that is number 5 on this list. Okay, so number 4 on the list of the most haunted places in Michigan is the Masonic Temple in Detroit. Now, I drove past this before. It is not really that creepy on the outside. When you feel and hear the story, you kind of get a little bit, think a little bit differently. So that's what my belief was about it. But anyways, what happened in the Masonic Temple is in 1920, Mr. Mason was a wealthy gentleman in Detroit who was the person behind the Masonic Temple who ended up building it. With over 1,000 rooms, concealed passageways, and several hidden staircases, Mr. Mason went way over his budget and eventually became bankrupt. When his wife left him over money problems, Mr. Mason jumped to his death from the temple. Security guards claim to still see sightings of Mr. Mason, and visitors often report an eerie feeling of being watched. And that is why it is number 4 on the top 10 most haunted places in Michigan. So number 3 on this list is honestly a creepy tale, and it is one of the reasons why I made it the third most haunted place in Michigan. And that would be the Michigan Bell Telephone Company in Grand Rapids. So basically, what happened is Warren and Virginia Randall made their way to the once lavish mansion in downtown Grand Rapids, their home in 1907. Although Warren had a good job as a brakeman on the GR and Indiana Railroad, his luck quickly turned when he lost his leg in a railway accident and had to replace it with a wooden one. Becoming increasingly insecure of himself, Warren accused Virginia of having affairs and would regularly get into violent fights with her. The cops once found him chasing her down an alley with a straight-edge razor. Although she didn't press charges, she left him later that summer. Shortly after that, Warren tried to make a friend with Virginia and coaxed her into having a carriage ride. The two ended up back at the mansion late at night. When they got into one last fight, Warren beat her to death with his wooden leg and then sealed every opening in the room with towels. Taking a gas fixture off the wall to let the fumes invade the room, he took out a straight-edge razor and slashed his throat with it. The bodies were found 2 weeks later when the office building next door started complaining of a strange odor coming from the mansion. Many board members and an official from the gas company broke in to find the bodies were so badly blackened and decayed that they were only able to identify them by Warren's wooden leg. The house was torn down 10 years later, and the Bell Telephone Company has occupied the space since 1924. Although the house no longer remains, many witnesses claim they can still hear the screams and cries of Virginia begging her husband for mercy. Now, when I was in Mackinac Island, I really wanted to go and visit this place, but unfortunately it was too far away for me to go to it. But it is located up north, near Mackinac, kind of near Mackinac Island, Mackinac City, but it's a little ways away from there. But number 2 on this list is the Paulding Light in Paulding, Michigan. For the past 40 years, a mysterious light has appeared in the woods nearly every night between Paulding and Waters Mead. The reports say the light appears to be someone carrying a lantern and is a haunting of a railroad worker who died while trying to change the tracks at night. The team from Ripley's Believe It or Not, along with a slew of paranormal investigators, have been here trying to figure out the truth behind what's going on in the nightly phenomenon. But no one has been able to understand what's going on. Other legends say the light is from a father who is carrying a lantern searching for his lost little boy. But today, nobody has figured out what causes the Paulding light, but it still appears every night in Paulding, Michigan. And the number one most haunted place in all of Michigan is Mackinac Island. Now, I have been here before. I have been to some of the haunted locations, which includes Mission Point, and there's also, I don't know if like anybody really talks about that much, but I have been to the theater in Mission Point, and I've been into the sound room, which is the haunted places, and I have been to the Fort Mackinac, which there's a room, and I cannot remember what it's called. I think it was called like the Black Room. The Black Hole. That's what it's called, Black Hole. And basically, when I looked down there, it was really eerie, and it was more colder than any other spot I've been to, and it just was very eerie, and it felt like someone was down there watching me. And it creeped me out, but I still went. And then there was also a creepy picture on the wall of a baby with an adult face, which was really creepy. And then when I went upstairs, in the room upstairs, it was a child's room, and it was showing what a child's room was looked like. And then the blocks spelled out help. They had letters on it, and it spelled out help me. Well, not really help me, but just help. And it was very creepy. But this is one of the most haunted places in all of Michigan. So anyways, visitors to the island say even in the middle of the summer, some places here just feel colder more often than others. Ain't that the truth? Maybe it happens to do with the fact that this is one of the most haunted locations in all of Michigan. Over 100 individual ghosts have been reported on the island, including Native American soldiers, students, tourists occupying different buildings and spaces. Mission Point Resort is one of the most popular spots for ghost sightings, built by the moral re-art movement in the 1950s. The resort housed the world headquarters of the international moral and spiritual movement that strived to cultivate world peace. The building was then donated to be used as the Mackinac Island College in 1966, a four-year school that only graduated one class in 1970. One of the most famous ghosts of the island was a student at the school believed to have killed himself in the midst of heartbreak. Locals report the ghost flirts with female tourists and plays jokes on the guys, which I didn't really ever see that, but it was very eerie there, and it is why it is the first number one place of haunted in all of Michigan. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, and if you want to, you can subscribe. Whatever floats your boat. But I hope you enjoyed and had as much fun learning about this stuff as I did. So have a good day, and beware of ghosts.